Hello and welcome to Netflix versus cinema. As we said last week, big screen versus big stream. Where do you think your money should be spent? Where should you find your entertainment? Do you really think it is okay that Netflix should take over Warner Brothers and just own everything? Or do you think that there is still value in the cinematic experience? That is what we shall be trying to answer on this podcast.
Let's get ready to rumble!
My name is Tosin and I am the host. I'm based up in a place in the United Kingdom in the middle of the country called Bromsgrove. It's near Birmingham. Joining me, as always, from the Isle of Wight is Sean Harris.
Hello.
Or shall I say World Cup bound Sean Harris?
Yes, I know. Yeah, what about that?
Yeah, I know. You might to get in there before FIFA got too money hungry.
Yeah, but I didn't get the best of games.
You didn't. You
Well,
didn't.
it might be a biggie. Never know.
Sean, when I look at it and I look at everything and I think about, because you got Iran versus New Zealand.
Yeah.
I feel like that might be the most pure football game you see. Because all the other games, the big names or the big games in inverted commas, they're just all about fleecing the fans and making all sorts of money. And I feel like your game is going to be for people who want to be there for the love of the game. And I think
you're right because I did, because you look at the price of the tickets and they're not expensive for that game. They're not too bad for that game.
Saying that some of the tickets for the final are like the cheapest tickets for the final is $3,000. And yeah, Holly, haven't seen this. The cheapest ticket for the for the World Cup final is $3,000. That's before you've traveled to America, before you found any accommodation, before you've done anything, just to watch a football game for 90 minutes, $3,000. And I bet you
so exclusionary.
I know. And something that's supposed to be the World Cup, they're like 7 times more expensive than I'm sorry, this is actually a film podcast. Anyway,
let's get back on track.
Let's get back on track. And you just heard her astonishment. It is our London correspondent. It is Holly Nesling.
Hello.
Or shall I say housebound Holly Nesling?
Yes. Less London correspondent, more Brentford building.
A block of flats in Brentford because Holly has managed. You're okay with us saying?
Yeah.
Holly has managed to break her fibula. So if you want to send any good vibes or anything like that, or chocolate, how about chocolate?
Chocolate always gratefully received. No wine at present because it doesn't mix with heparin.
Yeah, get in touch with us and we will see. We'll make sure that Holly gets some chocolate to help her get better and help that fibula heal. But so Holly, I'll start off with you this time in a break from tradition. What have you seen in the cinema in the last week?
I've seen absolutely nothing. Who would have thought?
What? How?
Nothing.
How on earth did you manage that?
And won't until at least 3 weeks' time. Maybe 2.
All right, cool. So nothing from you for the cinema. Okay, how about you, Sean? What you seen in the cinema?
I saw Silent Night, Deadly Night. I was going to go and watch. They had an unlimited viewing of a film called Champion, I think, or Champ, which was about Prince Nassim.
Is it no? It's actually like a narrative film. It's not a documentary that they've made.
Yeah, it's a narrative film. But of course, that was Monday, and we had the big, great Manchester.
Oh, Manchester United Bournemouth match. The one that shows that all the Premier League defenses have gone off for Christmas, and Sean has paused. Anyway, we will come back to him on that. What did he say he saw? He saw Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. All right, cool.
Sorry, guys. I went out again, didn't I?
You did go away.
You had spoken. You had covered off the keywords.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, I ended up watching the Bournemouth Manchester United game.
Yes. I was saying the match that shows that the Premier League defenses have gone off for Christmas early. All right, cool. And okay, so let's see. And at home, Holly, I think it's
You
only
watched
fair.
the cinema first.
What? Oh,
Let's
what did I
not
watch?
forget
Oh, I
you.
didn't say. Oh, I've written it down. I didn't say it. I saw Zootropolis too, because this is a film that I've paused for 2 weeks because I wanted to see it 2 weeks ago. Then I realized it was making all the money in the world, and that it made $500 million in its first 5 days. And I thought, That's going to be around for a while. But Eternity, I'm not sure it's going to be around for a while. Wake Up Deadman is definitely going to be in the cinemas for that long. So I decided to see those two in the last couple of weeks instead. And this week, finally, I didn't see anything in the cinema that I would rather watch than Zootropolis 2. And I finally got to actually watch it. So I saw Zootropolis 2. How about you, Holly? What have you seen at home? I think it's only fair we let you do that.
Oh, I have seen many things at home.
Yes.
I have finished
Give us a
off.
quick rundown and then we'll see who is
Okay.
the winner.
Welcome to Derry.
Yes.
Talamasca, The Secret Order. Season 1 of Irish Blood. Wake Up Dead Man. Deadwater Fell, all 3 series. Turns out I'd seen it before. Had forgotten. The Night Manager. I have now started Grace Point.
Yes.
And I'm fairly sure I've missed some things there as well. I will be watching a lot of TV over the next few weeks.
We can only imagine it, and we will gratefully receive your offerings. But so with Deadwater Fell, am I noticing a David Tennant theme?
There has been an unintentional David Tennant theme because I was trying to remember the name of Grace Point and I came across Deadwater Fell and thought, oh, that sounds interesting, and started it, and then thought initially, this feels vaguely familiar, and then suddenly went, it feels very, very familiar. I know pretty much exactly what happens here. But I still watched it because
But you still watched all 3 seasons.
Of course I did, because I've got time on my hands.
All right, cool. And out of all that, because Irish Blood stars Alicia Silverstone, who I think might be having a bit of a resurgence. I don't quite know what she's been doing for the last 20 years, but all of a sudden she seems to be popping up in a whole bunch of things. Usually on Netflix, like for instance, she's in a film called something like Very Merry Xmas. A Very Merry Xmas. X spelled EX-mas. Yes, so you can imagine what happens. It's essentially Netflix does Hallmark. So yeah, she's a Very Merry Xmas, and she was in a Rebel Wilson film called Senior Year, where Rebel Wilson's in a coma and then wakes up 20 years later. And Alicia Silverstone shows up in that and I was kind of like, oh my god, it's Alicia Silverstone. And then she's in this called Irish Blood, and I'm thinking, oh, cool, maybe she's doing a Winona Ryder, maybe she's coming back. And I think, so I want to hear how she's doing. So I'm going to go Irish Blood Season 1. And Sean, anyway, never mind. I'll tell you what, I'll go with something that I've seen and we'll see how much of Sean we get for this show. So let's kick off with cinema. Let's kick off with cinema since I won. So let's kick off with Zootropolis 2. And I'm going to kick off with Zootropolis 2 and talk about this. So has everybody seen the first Zootropolis? So Holly, you never saw the first Zootropolis? Oh, honestly, Zootropolis is one of the best animated movies. It's one of those, because when you think Disney is just becoming bad and not taking any risks and everything like that, and then you have Zootropolis, which came out and just went, oh my god, this is amazing. And it is essentially, imagine an animated cartoon about a bunny and a fox and everything, and they live in this massive thing, and they live in this massive metropolis, hence the name Zootropolis. But it's all these animals live there, and it's all mammals. Mammals all live in this place. So you have hippos living beside mice, and you have different areas of the town where you have you have Shrew Town, and you have Mice Town, and where you have where the elephants live, and you have a frozen tundra where all the polar bears are, and all that kind of stuff. And it's this massive metropolis, this melting pot of all these different species. And the first film was a very effective crime noir thriller. Think something along the lines of Chinatown or something like that, LA Confidential, put in a kids film with cuddly animals, and it was quite frankly all about racism. It was about racism, and it was about races. How do you get along with each other and everything like that. It is one of the cleverest films of the last 10 years. Sean, by the way, you're on mute, just so you did, in case you didn't know. And and in this one, so in the second one, you have the returning characters from the first film, which is Judy Hopps, voiced by Ginnifer Goodwin, and she's a bunny rabbit, and she's the first bunny rabbit on the Zootropolis Police Department, on the Zootropolis Police Force. And in the first film, she ends up chasing down this fox character, and voiced by Jason Bateman. And this time, as it comes around, they've become partners. He's become a police officer, and you meet them a week after the thing. And in the first film, they have saved the town. They've saved the city of the Zootropolis. And so then you have this whole thing where Judy, everybody's going, well, that was just, you guys just got lucky. It was just a one-off. Yeah, I mean, a fox and a bunny. How can a fox... And you have all these ingrained things where people are like, a bunny can't really do anything like that. And essentially, there's so many things about othering, about racism, and that you can find and you can attach it to the way they do things in this film. And then it's about... But because Judy, she's like, I have to prove myself. I've got to prove myself again. I've got to prove that it wasn't a one-off the last time. And she's like really, really risk-taking and all that kind of stuff. And Nick, the fox, he's kind of like more laid back and all. So they end up going to like a couple's, almost like a partner's therapy thing about how they're going to do. But in the midst of all of it, because she starts getting this feeling that there's a reptile has come into the city. And in this whole thing, it's for mammals, but reptiles are ostracized. And reptiles are not allowed to come to the city. And people are like, if a reptile comes in, there's going to be hell to pay. Reptiles are just going to destroy everything. Reptiles are evil. We need to get rid of reptiles. And then it shows up that like a snake has somehow gotten into the city. And it becomes this whole detective thing of what's the snake doing here? How are we going to catch this snake? And then this is where it gets very film noir, very Chinatown. It becomes like, hang on, is this snake the bad guy? You can figure out that the snake may not be a bad guy. And then it becomes like, who are the real bad guys and how are we going to go about this? And it becomes this whole thing about power and how people have powers. And a lot of this becomes about zoning laws and people and how people decide essentially we're going to build a new development, and how they go and build a new development and what shenanigans go on behind the scenes to build a new development and who gets pushed out when they do that. And I think this film is so inventive. It is so inventive in all the tiny sight gags. It's the kind of film you want to watch more than once. It's like you want to watch more than once because there's so many side gags in it that I'm like, what was that? What was that? What's the name of that shop? What was that called? I've got to go back and watch it again because I didn't miss that. Like apparently there is a character in it called Ed Sheeran who is some kind of animal in the film. And there's so many things. It's got a brilliant voice cast. As I said, Ginnifer Goodwin, Jason Bateman, Idris Elba's in there, Shakira's in there, Andy Samberg shows up, David Strathairn is in there as well. It is just, and I thought that the story that they told is one of the best sort of detective film noir kind of stories I've seen for a while. It is, I think, obviously, it's not as fresh as the first one because the first one was just like a blast from everything, and because of this, it's a bit familiar, and they do try a little bit too hard to bring back some characters from the first film. There is one brilliant Ratatouille joke in there that made me crack up. And there's all these is even things like there's a very, very tiny shot where you know how when your kid's growing up and you measure them on the height as they're growing up on the wall and everything like that. There's this one tiny shot about snakes and how snakes do it. But with snakes, it's not about the height, it's about the length. And then they have this sort of like graduation that's the length of the snake as the snake is growing. And it's just these tiny little things that make sure that they've put so much thought into it for something that's going to be on screen for all of 3 seconds, and you're not going to see it. But I thought it was great. I think Fortune Feimster shows up and she does a voice in it. Huy Quan voices Gary the Snake, and his last name is the Snake. And I loved this. I thought it was great. I thought it was brilliant. You could probably quibble and say it's not as good as the first one. I don't think it was ever going to be as good as the first one because the first one, I think a big part of the thing about the first one is how fresh it was. So I would still give this a 4 out of 5. I thought I really liked it, and I think what it goes on, there is, as I said, there's whoever you are, there's probably something that's happened in history that you can attach to what's going on in here, or a character that you can say that's who that industrialist is like, or anything like that. There's probably somebody you could, but for me, I know that there's a very definite incident in American history where a black community got burnt out of this community that they had built up, and it just got taken over, and they just got kicked. And I know that, and I feel like I was like, oh my god, that's what they're doing here. It's kind of like the first one, but yeah. But anyway, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I would say go watch it. And Holly, please watch the first one.
I will. I have the time.
You have the time. Watch the first one. It is on Disney Plus. It is brilliant. All right, cool. So that's 4 stars out of 5 for Zootropolis 2. And it still shocks me a bit how much money it's making. But I think people just like bunnies.
Yeah.
It still shocks me how much money it's making, but it's a very, very good film. All right, cool. And now let's go over to Netflix and Friends. And let's talk Irish Blood Season 1. Alicia Silverstone back on our screens.
Alicia Silverstone.
Yes.
So, Alicia Silverstone is a divorce lawyer, very successful divorce lawyer who lives in Los Angeles, obviously. And she became a divorce lawyer because she grew up with parents who were madly in love with each other. Her father was Irish, her mother was American, and they would dance around the kitchen and life was joyous.
Yeah.
But on her 10th birthday, her father leaves them. And to the best of her knowledge, after there has been crashing and banging, and she comes downstairs later and her mother is beaten up. And at this point, her love for her father is eternally damaged. And she decides that what she wants to do is protect the world against women from, abusive, expletive men.
So far, it sounds like she might be a character in All's Fair, the Kim Kardashian show.
Except much better at acting. So she's got an edge there. So off she carries on. Her mother has a bakery and it's all very nice. And she is contacted by somebody from Ireland saying, I think something along the lines of Blackbeard has the answer, said in a slightly mysterious tone.
Yeah.
And she then gets a message from her father asking her to come to Wexford because reasons. So off she goes for no conceivable reason, at very little notice, gets on a plane and heads off to Ireland, where she discovers relatively swiftly that her father has passed away. And there are various, and he has left her clues as to the stuff that was going on in his life and a battle he was on to catch some people out and do right or something. It's not entirely clear. So off she goes, finally meeting her father's family who didn't know she existed. His very good friend who is a black British boxing coach, which feels quite surreal in Wexford, but I would say is a good touch and is an excellent character. And off she goes trying to figure out what happened and learning about her family and who her father was in many, many ways.
Yeah.
And it is a thoroughly enjoyable bit of viewing. I can't say much more because it might give away the twists and turns. It's light-hearted, almost funny in places. The characters are actually pretty well constructed. Not the deepest in the world, but it's not meant to be. And
have they grabbed a whole bunch of Americans and tried them and got them to put on accents, or have they actually grabbed Irish actors?
Irish actors.
Nice.
Good Irish actors too. So it's a genuinely decent watch. It's already commissioned for at least another one, if not another 2 series.
Hey, Alicia!
Judging by pretty on the day it was released, it was already lined up on Netflix. It was lined up for another 2. So it's clearly starting in a good place. I very much enjoyed watching it. It is not going to change the world. It would be weird if it did. But I would thoroughly recommend it for some over Christmas viewing with a cup of tea or a glass of something and just embracing the mild silliness of a slightly mad transatlantic
detective story. So how many episodes are we talking?
Only 6.
Oh, sign me up.
Yes, a classic one.
Sign me up. I'm like, 6 episodes. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yes. Well, what are you waiting for? Why are we still here?
Power your way through it and we'll enjoy every second.
So how many stars would you give this?
It's a slightly tricky one because I like it more than the quality necessarily deserves. So I'm going to be my generous self and give it a 4. I think
Okay.
it's probably really more like a 3.5, but as we don't do halves, and I want to make sure that people appreciate the sheer enjoyability of it.
It's okay. I mean, we can do halves. We can do whatever we want. It's Christmas. So,
Yeah.
so
A
My
strange thing.
score.
What's really strange is Alicia Silverstone. I was listening to the radio, and they've got this weekend just for 15 minutes. They're talking about Jane Austen stories.
oh yeah.
And Clueless come up, and
Yeah.
the director of Clueless, they were talking to the director of Clueless, and he said this all comes down to Emma, apparently. Which,
Yes.
I mean, I've never seen Clueless, so I don't know. But
Oh yeah. Clueless is very famously a modern remake of Emma.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting that when Alicia Silverstone come up, you know what I mean? I suddenly thought, I was listening to the director of Clueless, you know?
Yeah, but this is what we're talking about. I think you might have having troubles when I was talking about earlier. That I think that she's mounting a bit of a comeback, a bit like
Right.
Winona Ryder came back with Stranger Things, and I
Yeah.
feel like Alicia Silverstone. You saw nothing about her for years, probably the best part of 2 decades, seeing nothing about her, and then all of a sudden on Netflix, you put it into like Very Merry Xmas. She's in that with Melissa Joan Hart, another sort of like 90s stalwart. And then she's in this. There was a film I saw the other day, senior year with Rebel Wilson, where all of a sudden she shows up. Like Alicia Silverstone just shows up for like this. I'm like, hang on, that Uber driver's Alicia Silverstone. and you're like, yeah, that is her. So yeah, no, it's I think she's about to come back, and I am all for it. I am all for it. I'm like, bring them back. All right, cool. And now let's go back to cinemas, and this is Sean with Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, yeah.
So
Just to say, I'll say about the stuff I watched on streaming, because I'm on the telephone Wi-Fi now, not the. So I should be good. Okay. So Silent Night, Deadly Night. So this starts off. I mean, I went with something. It wasn't really on my radar, but I went to see it with Happy John. And it's obviously it's going to be a slasher film. So it starts off with this young boy, and he's in an old people's home, and his parents are visiting his granddad, and then he goes to see his granddad, and his granddad dies, and then his parents, they're driving home, his parents get stopped and, should we say, killed in front of him.
Yeah.
And then it goes like 20 years later, and he's grown up, he's become a drifter, but he has to become a drifter because he kills naughty people. So, and he's got like this sixth sense. He's got so the person who killed his parents because they did bad things, he's sort of, there was this like a Freaky Friday moment, I guess you'd call it, where it sort of possesses him, and he says, "Oh," and it becomes a bit like Deadpool, where he's got the voice of bloke and said, "Oh, look up, he's bad. You've got to watch, keep your eyes open." And so he moves around from town to town, and he ends up in this working in like a Christmas store because it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
And there's some bad people. He sort of gets these vibes, but there's a girl that works in the shop, and she's sort of similar. She's a bit off. She's very forthright. Anyway, cut a long story short, this is just a slasher movie where he's got an axe and he goes around anybody that's naughty, or have done something wrong. It's like this. When people come in the shop and it's like his vibes, and you've got the bloke talking, there's something wrong with him. You've got to be careful, look around, keep your eyes open. And there's a lot of convoluted plots. And
well, yeah, I think essentially that they've already done quite a bit of convoluted plotting to get to the point where essentially Santa is a serial killer who kills people on the naughty list.
Yeah. And I found myself enjoying this. It was a little bit of a comedy, really, more so than a slasher. But it just really reminded me of Deadpool a Christmas Deadpool with the voice telling him what to do. You know what I mean? Oh, don't get involved, because he wants to get involved with the girl. Don't get involved with the girl.
Yeah.
Don't do this. So
when you say Deadpool, do you mean Deadpool or Venom?
Oh, Venom. Who's the one with the voice?
That's Venom.
Voice? Sorry. Yeah, Venom then. Venom.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't mean Deadpool. Venom. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting old, Toes. I'm getting a bit senile. Yeah, no, Venom, where like Eddie. That's right, Eddie.
He's like, come on, Eddie,
Yeah, come on,
eat him.
Eddie.
Let's eat his head.
That's it. Yeah, so Venom. Sorry, not Deadpool. Venom. Well, they look similar, maybe, but not. But yeah, but it's that type of vibe with the voices inside. So this is quite comedic. Yeah. And I find myself actually quite enjoying this movie. I was having a good time with it. I don't know, it's because I wasn't expecting much. I thought it was going to be one more serious, of trying to be one of those slasher films that is, we've got tents and all that. But it wasn't at all. It was really funny. It was, So.
Because it's a remake of a 70s film, isn't it?
Yeah, but John was telling me, Happy John was telling me that the 70s one is like a serious, like, is more serious. Whereas this was quite light-hearted, with some comedic things. Keep your eyes open, keep your eyes. I just really like the inside voice. And I won't give any plot endings away, but there's should we say the girl has quite a lot to do with it as well. So she gets involved. She's quite tough. So. But enjoyable movie. Did what it says on the tin. I didn't dislike it. I couldn't really criticize it that much because it didn't take itself too seriously. Which really annoys the film.
I know. You hate a slasher film that takes itself too seriously.
That's it. I do. Anything that takes itself too seriously. But so this will have to give. I'm going to give this one a 3-star. So yeah, it's a great 3-star.
3 stars for Silent Night, Deadly Night. All right, cool. And do you want to go like a quick run through the things that you'd seen on streaming?
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah, so apart from that, there's one. I saw this film called Relay, which I mean.
Oh, yeah. That's the one with Riz Ahmed.
Yeah, that's Relay on Amazon.
With Amazon Prime, Riz Ahmed, and I can't remember who the woman is in it. Well, it's
the one who was in Lily. Is it
Lily James? Yes, Lily James.
Yeah.
I've heard about that. I've heard good things about that.
Oh, mate. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have really watched this. Anyway, so I wouldn't have really watched this, but I was totally impressed with this film.
Okay.
So basically, it's a bit like.
I'll tell you what. Right. I know. We have way too much stuff that we've seen at home, so we can't really do the usual thing that we usually do, which is where we take one person from one thing, put it up. We take one film, put it up against one thing from home, and then we do what we get. So I think you go with Relay. Tell us about Relay. And
that's what I'd like to do. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I've got another one you'd like, which I watched called Freak Nightfall. But anyway, so Relay. So it's like a film like. Do you remember Enemy of the State with Will? With Will Smith. Yeah. The Pelican Brief. So basically,
like a paranoid thriller.
Yeah. So, but this Lily James is a lady that works for this company, and they're supposed to be ethical, but some of the things they're doing are not quite so ethical. And she's taken a paper, and there's this chap. You see that at the beginning, that she doesn't want to give it to the press, but she doesn't want to be, hurt or threatened or anything like that. So
yeah, she's trying to be a whistleblower.
She's trying to be a whistleblower, yeah. And there's this chap that helps, and they go through this thing called Relay, which is like a phone company where the guy types what he wants to say, what he needs her to do, and then it goes to this relay and it says go ahead. So, and he tells her these sort of things to do. This is what I want you to do. I want you to get the stuff you've got. I want you to mail it to this box.
Yeah.
I want you to do this. And you've got this high-tech surveillance team that are trying to find.
Yeah, trying to shut her up.
Yeah, trying to shut her up basically. And but so that's basically the story. Now, what I really liked about this. So one of the things she tells her to do says post this to this post box and throw the receipt for it in the bin. And anyway, so these surveillance team, they retrieve the receipt and they try to worm their way. They go to the post office where the post box are, and there's like she's like a sexy lady says, I've got the receipt for the box, but I haven't got my key.
Yeah.
Would you try to, and the old boy's there and he goes, no, sorry, we don't do that. We can't do that at all. We can't no. So no joy there. And then they go to the relay place, which relays all the messages.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, they pretend they're like cops, and they're like, oh, we're going to get a warrant. We're going to have to. And it just says, the woman says, well, get a warrant then. We can't, And then she said, you won't find nothing. And I love all that stuff. And that to me, I'm like, yes, at last. It's like, it's like these films where you get people dressed up as soldiers. Who do you think you're talking to? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just thought, this is really, really good. The reason I watched it, because I think it's done by the director of Hell and High Water, I think.
I'll have a look.
Yeah. So, for me, and it's really well acted, but there's a major twist at the end, which I just did not see coming at all. So I would say this would, for me, this totally ticked all the boxes for me, except maybe there's an action scene which perhaps didn't quite.
This is because every single review I've heard about this has mentioned this exact thing. Because every review I've heard about this it's essentially, I was like, I think Sean might like this, because people are like, it is taut, it is 70s, it is down to earth, it doesn't do anything majorly Hollywoody, because everything kind of makes sense and you can track the logic, and then but everybody says until it gets to a point where it thinks it needs to be like all thrillery and like put a car chase in there or something like that.
As I say, I've not seen any reviews for this. I've not seen, because I don't look at reviews. So it must be that people think exactly the same.
Yeah. Everybody everyone has said exactly what you've just said. That it's great until.
Yeah.
And yes, it's directed by David Mackenzie, the director of Hell or High Water.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a good watch. A really, really good watch. Really, really quite surprised. I mean, normally if I watch stuff at home, I can get quite easily distracted, I can get quite easily distracted. Whereas this, I was compelled to watch, and I thought, this is because there's nothing really, really, silly in it, apart from maybe the bit I was talking about. So on the whole, I would recommend people to watch this, but I can't give it a biggie because of that end scene. So
because of the thing.
Just because of the end.
Bits at the end. So, but the twist was quite interesting. The twist was quite good.
So how many stars would you give it out of 5?
I give this one a 4. I think I give this one a 4 because I found myself enjoying it, which is unusual for, I can easily get distracted. I watched, actually, to be fair to Amazon, they've done some of the stuff I've watched on there recently has been pretty good. I mean, I've watched half of a lot of rubbish as well. so I've watched like 10 minutes of some of these silly, zombies things and horror things and giant monster things.
I do feel like of all of the streaming platforms, Prime Video does seem to have an inordinate amount of rubbish.
Really?
It seems like they have a whole, when you used to go to Blockbuster and get like the bargain basement of like, the sort of knockoffs of other films or anything like that. Prime Video seems to specialize in being like a repository, because you can get lost in a rabbit hole, in a rabbit warren of just rubbish.
When you get a thing that says like continue watching.
Yeah.
I got like a whole, I got about 40 of them like that much that I've watched. It's just got continue watching. But funny you should say Blockbusters, because there's another film perhaps I could review next time called Freaky Night, which is got a little Tom Hanks thing in, which is
okay. I'm just building up. Maybe we I don't know, because this is supposed to be our last recording before Christmas. But I'm thinking maybe it might be worth it doing one after Christmas where we just go through a whole bunch of stuff that people can watch at home that we haven't had a chance to talk about. Because I'm looking at the list and I'm thinking, okay, so we have Freaky Nights, we have She Rides Shotgun, we got Witcher Rides, we got 13 Days, we got Planet Sauvage, and that's just mainly Sean. The things that Sean has spoken about that he hasn't had a chance to say anything about. I've got things like I've got The Assassin on Prime Video. Holly, you've got a whole bunch more that you mentioned earlier. So it might be worth just going through a whole bunch of stuff, doing like one extra show, just do a whole bunch of stuff and say, this is stuff that's available for you right now at home over the Christmas period. Eat your turkey, sit down, watch this. Either be things that turn your brain off. It might be worth it doing that. But
it's actually called Freaky Tales. So
Freaky Tales, okay.
Yeah,
Freaky
sorry,
Tales.
yeah. And it's got Pedro Pascal in, but I mean, it's just like mega 80s.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
totally. You know, I love the 70s stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is like, and it's crazy. It's off the wall. So I'd like to do that one. And I'd like to, if you got Amazon, you watch it as well and let me know.
Freaky Tales. All right.
Freaky Tales.
You know, the funny thing is that you said it has Pedro Pascal in it, and I was going to be like, well, isn't that the one? I was like, hang on a second. This is 2025. Something that has Pedro Pascal in it does not narrow it down at all. Because that man has been in a lot this year. He has been in a lot in 2025. All right. So, yes, but before we go, I mean, there isn't much organization going on here, but I did think it is the last show that we're doing of 2020. Well, the last show before Christmas of 2025. We might still come in and give you a download of a whole bunch of stuff that you might want to watch over Christmas. But so I just thought maybe we should have a note to the fact that it is the last show of 2025. And first of all, who do you think won, Netflix or cinema?
Netflix.
Yep, correct. Netflix did. So let's move on. But before we do that, I had a couple of questions for you guys, and it was, what is the best thing that you have seen this year in cinema, and what is the best thing that you have seen on streaming? So, anybody want to take it away, or should I go? Should I fire?
Yeah, no, I can have a go if you like.
Okay.
Things that really stick in my mind would be, I don't know. No, I'd like to go for it. I didn't mind. I was surprised with the Fantastic Four. I wouldn't say it was the best one I've seen.
Yeah.
But I liked the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And I enjoyed. If we're going on about, I quite liked Superman, and I can't think of anything now. I'm sort of on a bit of a. Well, I could tell you what I didn't like. I didn't like Mission Impossible. That's a real turkey.
Yeah, but yeah, Mission Impossible. I remember watching that and thinking that Tom Cruise's Messiah complex is getting a little bit out of hand. It is getting a little bit out of hand.
More out of hand, I think you mean. Quite out of hand for a little while now.
Yeah,
I think I've got a few here which are probably the ones. I mean, I'm not sure if Godzilla Kong, but those would probably be. So those would probably be the ones.
Yeah, because Sean, for me, one of the posters on your behind you is my best favorite film of the year, which is Sinners.
Sinners is great. Yeah, that was. Yeah. And that's toast. That's exactly what I was trying to think of when I looked, and now I can see it. I should have looked here.
Yeah, it's right behind. It's right behind you. Movie. And Sinners. I think. My two favorite films of the year are Sinners and Weapons.
Weapons. That's the other one. You just. Oh man.
Yeah, I
was thinking about that before I come on. I was thinking, right, okay, what do I like? And I had a little look at what was on, and Weapons was the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I do remember. I remember watching those and coming out of the cinema going, okay, that might be film of the year. I think Sinners just above Weapons. Just before Weapons, but I remember what came out going, that might be film of the year, and those have just stood in my mind throughout the entire year.
I've got another one.
Sinners cost me a lot of money.
I agree on those, but I'm still here.
That was my third. I'm Still Here was my third. That's the Brazilian one. It's the Brazil. That is a brilliant film. I'm Still Here, brilliant film. And yeah, I would agree with that. And I think honorable mention for me was September 5. I'm not sure if you guys remember that.
Yes.
It was the one set during the Munich Olympics, the 1972, was it? Munich Olympics.
Seemed plausible.
Yeah, and it's
72 was that was when the Olympics was. Yeah.
Yeah, in the Munich Olympics, and it was all from the point of view of the film crew, of the news crew who reported on the terrorist situation there. And yeah, I remember that. I remember. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that was good. And honorable mention for The Last Showgirl. I mean, I think it's a year of a bit of comeback of female actors who like I feel like kind of discarded a little bit when they left their 30s. and it's like, yeah, and so Pamela Anderson, yeah, we just spoke about Alicia Silverstone. I think that, but for me, I still think, yeah, I would go, for me, it would be Sinners, Weapons, I'm Still Here. Would are the ones that I would look at and I'll be like, yes, loved these. I'm looking through the list of what we spoke about this year, and there was some rubbish. Ooh.
Yeah.
There was a really bad week in which I reviewed Heart's Eyes and Love Hurts, and that's, oh God.
That was, yeah, no.
Just no. Just no.
Heart Eyes was particularly awful.
Oh, you saw Heart's Eyes as well?
Yeah, later on streaming for free, and thought,
It's
oh,
horrible.
heavens.
I think it's a stupid film. And
Yes.
for some reason,
Yes, it's not. I wouldn't bad. Does ill credit to bad films. I mean, Monsternado is a bad film.
yeah, I think Heart's Eyes is just stupid.
Yeah.
I think it's just, the main thing that it gets me for is the fact that the actress in it, Olivia Holt, looks for all the world like somebody crossed Julia Stiles' face with Merritt Weaver's, and have a look at it. She's in a film on Netflix at the moment called Holiday Heist or something like that, and and honestly, Olivia Holt, I'm like, I had to go online and check if she was related to Julia Stiles or Merritt Weaver after I saw her. She just, yeah.
Oh, she does.
She looks
That's
like Julia
weird.
Stiles. It is so freaky. And so, okay, so anyway, let's go away from that and let's go on to things on streaming. Is there anything that you've seen on streaming this year, you've seen at home, that jumps out and goes yes at you?
Deli Crimes.
Well,
Deli
I know it's fresh in my mind, but I'd say Relay.
I was thinking that the way you were talking about, I was like, okay, you haven't sounded this enthusiastic about anything you've seen on Prime this entire year. So yeah, now this is a bit where I struggled a little bit more, and I'm trying not to just go in and be like, do this. Well, Slow Horses, yeah, obviously.
Also, Slow Horses.
Yeah, Slow Horses is great. Slow Horses is great. I was trying to think about something that I saw that really sort of like grabbed me, or something that like Slow Horses, it was season 5 or whatever, and so by season 5 of Slow Horses, you're expecting it to be good, it's good. so yeah, but I'm thinking about something that I didn't know. Oh yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. I'll say K-pop Demon Hunters was a bit of a surprise how that blew up this year, and the only thing I think of, but the problem with this is that the studio on Apple TV is really good. The studio it's on Apple TV Plus. That is, actually, the studio is one of the best things I've seen this year. But the other thing is also Apple TV Plus. But because of our rules on this show, where we don't talk about something until we've seen the whole season, and they haven't finished showing the whole first season yet, so I can't really talk about it. But I would say Pluribus. I am really, really enjoying Pluribus. Pluribus is great. Sean, I know you don't necessarily have access to Apple TV Plus, but if you find somebody who does, or you get a free trial or anything like that, I think you would like Pluribus. It is it's essentially, when you have, it's a bit like, okay, let me go back to your favorite film period, the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how in the 70s, it was kind of like the ideas were more important than the whiz bang. And
yes.
Yeah, and it's because you hadn't figured out CGI, you hadn't figured out, so, and I think it was the 80s when they started blowing up things en masse, and and the explosion became the main thing. I think in the 70s it was still like the idea behind it was what was driving the whole thing. And Pluribus is all about the idea. It's all about the idea and the execution of the idea. Some of the things that they do, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. I've finished, I think I've just finished the 3rd episode, and I'm like, this is good. This is good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so I'll probably say that. Okay, so has everybody said what they found? Okay, yeah, Relay, Deli Crime. Relay and Deli Crime. And I'm looking at the ones that had high ratings. Alien Earth had a lot of...
Oh, yeah. We like
That's
Alien
really
Earth.
good.
Yeah, Alien Earth was quite cool.
I will watch that again. Obviously.
Yeah, okay,
That's a
cool.
statement of anything.
Okay, but that's it. So, but anyway, I think we'll stop there. And all we'd say is Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Go watch a whole bunch of things, and in the UK, typically over the Christmas New Year period, this is when we get all of the people who want our consideration. For your consideration, how about this film? We want to win an Oscar. This is when we get this. So usually this is when we might get a whole bunch of good, higher quality films, or films who think that they're higher quality. So it should be good viewing in the cinema. Go see the cinema before Netflix buys Warner Brothers and does whatever Netflix is going to do. I don't think it's going to be as apocalyptic as some people think it would be, but no. It's interesting. And go there. But also we'll find some time in our Christmas things to come back and just dump a whole bunch of things that we have watched that you can watch right now at home, but we haven't said anything about in between Christmas and New Year. But we will see that. But until that time, it's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me, and watch Freaky Tales if you can, Toes.
Freaky Tales.
And you, Holly.
I will too. And a goodbye from me. Off to watch Freaky Tales.
Yeah, we're off to watch Freaky Tales. Thank you so much for joining us.